Hello everybody, welcome again to another Outtakes adventure. Ian and I have travelled this morning to Stirlingshire to look at 3 historical buildings, including this one behind us, the Pineapple. Why don't you come along in today's adventure? Come along with us.
So where are we today? Stirlingshire.
Stirlingshire, not far from the village of Airth, which is next to
Kincardine Bridge.
Kincardine Bridge. I was going to say Erskine Bridge, but it's the wrong side of the country. We're standing in front of a ruined tower called Airth Tower.
Dunmore Tower.
Dunmore Tower. Or
Elphinstone Tower.
3 named tower. We're standing beside us or behind us. It's a bit of a ruin, but it's a cracking story, and I think Ian knows.
Well, the tower was built in around about 1510 by Sir John Elphinstone, and the Elphinstones lived there for about 250 years.
Yes.
And round about mid-1600s they added an extension to it. They built a big hall, and that was there until they sold it to John Murray, who was the 4th Earl of Dunmore.
Yes.
Guess how much they sold it for?
No, I can't remember. It's quite a...
This was 1754, I think.
1754. I would... things. An average yearly earnings in 17 would be like £30 a year. £400, £500.
£16,000.
Do you joke? Honestly?
They paid, John Murray paid £16,000 for the whole estate. The whole estate.
16,000 bazingas, huh?
So what would that be in today's money?
A lot.
So anyway, the Murrays bought the estate, and they changed the name to Dunmore Estate. So the Murrays used the tower up until 1911 and abandoned it at that point, with the only exception being that the bottom of the tower they turned into a mausoleum.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think that was in place for a good long time before the bodies were removed because of vandalism and various things like that. So we're actually standing in a graveyard, and there's gravestones all round about us. In the 1820s, the bit that was built in the 1600s was demolished, and they built a church there, St Andrew's Episcopal Church. Unfortunately, in the 1960s, there was a big storm, and it damaged one of the towers, which fell onto the church and destroyed the church. So the church is no longer here.
So
do you know what's hard to believe?
Is that an act of God or an act of nature? Right?
This tower that we see here, right, was actually still standing in 1960.
Is that right? Well, it's an absolute ruin now, like.
So the storm I think was in 1968, and that kind of put an end to the tower and the church. So interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
So Jim's going to tell us a wee bit more once we get to Dunmore House, or Dunmore Park House.
Dunmore Park House.
So that's that. That's
right, we're seeing a couple of ticks. I don't mean ticks as in beastie ticks. A couple of seconds, couple of minutes.
What's a tick?
A tick's where the hands. Oh yeah, bug. And Yes, I have. Thanks for joining us again. We're standing in front of the main entrance to Dunmore House. This was designed by a chap called William
Wilkins.
Is it William Wilkins?
William Wilkins. Yeah.
So, it's a grand big house, or it was, isn't it, in its heyday? A grand big house.
So, built by George Murray in 1820, completed in 1825.
Yes.
And the Murray family lived here until 1911, where thereafter it was owned privately up until 1961.
Right, okay.
And at that point it became a girls' school.
The old girls' school.
All girls' school here, and that closed down in 1964. So from 1964 to 1970 it lay empty, abandoned. And then in 1970 they broke the estate up into plots and sold them off.
Oh, right, okay, right.
So one of the plots that was sold off was the Pineapple, and it was the Countess of Perth.
Who purchased it, yes.
Purchased it and then gave it to the National Trust for Scotland.
Yes. Oh,
so
amazing structure.
So that's a wee bit about the family history here in the house. So John Murray.
Okay, so John Murray, the 4th Earl of Dunmore, built this amazing structure called the Pineapple. People argue if it was built in 1761 or was it 1776. Either way, it's irrelevant as far as we're concerned, as far as you're concerned.
Stunning building.
Amazing.
So every bit as good as this building here.
The architect is a William Chambers. You think? In fact, we don't really know.
No.
As much research that I've done, we don't really know.
But they reckon it's Chambers because
his architectural work in
the Kew Gardens. In London.
And again, it's just on this type of stone vase that it does. Now, we've obviously seen the Pineapple and we photographed it. We never noticed the vases, or these concrete vases. We didn't pay much attention. But the architecture itself, do you think it's probably like an Italian design?
Yeah. And
the leaves of this pineapple that's quite big. And the fascinating thing is that no water can gather. Now, it sits that way year in and year out. And the clever design that the architects come up with, and even the stonemasons to put it in place where no water can gather. So if there's no water gathering, then there's no frost damage. So it's an amazing structure. Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. So this character, John Murray, I believe he was the last governor of Virginia and the Bahamas.
Yes.
So what's the story there then?
He owned, I think, 56 or 58 slaves, African slaves, in America. And around about the time of the Boston Tea Party or the American independence, he was obviously for king and country. And the story goes is that he promised the 56 or 58 slaves that he would give them a freedom if he fought on his side or his side of the king of the British Empire. So of course those slaves then spoke to other slaves and reckoned that if he joined his army, they would then, once the war was over or the fight was over, they would become free men and free women. And of course that didn't. Well, it didn't happen. It did happen. So what happened is that John's army was obviously defeated before it was even started to fight. So he then fled from Virginia to New York, and then scampered from New York back to the UK or back to London. And unwittingly, as history would record, he's down as a
hero.
A hero for slaving, for freeing 56 or 58 African American slaves.
But it's reputed that he had ulterior motives for using the slaves.
Oh, definitely, aye. Because he was there for he was only there for king and country. Wasn't cared about the black man or Native Americans or the Americans that was there at that time. So quite a character, quite a colourful character.
So there you go. There you go. So there's another wee interesting part about this building as well. It was part of a famous TV show, I believe.
Oh right, aye, yes, aye. Oh.
It's one of your favourites, I believe.
Outlander.
There you go.
Jamie and Claire. So part of this house was used for the scene where Claire was in a kind of hospital. in the Second World War, and that was filmed here somewhere. I'll have to try and find out where it was, a lot part of it. So that's a claim to fame, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Outlander.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to go and take some photographs now, Ian.
But we need to watch out for the ghosts because there's too many stories about this place being haunted that there must be something there.
Well, I think we'll have to ask my friend
Alec
Alec.
Gibson.
Alec Gibson's got a YouTube channel, Urban Explorers, and I'm guessing Alec's been here.
I would think Alec's been here as well. So Alec, if you're watching, let us know whether you think this place is haunted or not, because our Jim's absolutely terrified and scared to go down that dark bit down the stairs. I'm going to take him down, and we're going down anyway, so
I'm not going to do that, Alec.
we'll see what happens. So for people out there, Alec's YouTube channel, we'll put a wee link down below.
Yeah.
You should check out because it's very, very good.
Urban
He goes-
Explorers,
he-
Alec and the gang,
He
boys
goes-
and girls.
He goes to some amazing places and you wouldn't believe what he finds.
Aye.
So a wee shout out for Alec there.
Alec.
Okay, so that's us done for the day.
Yes.
Thanks very much again for being with us and taking the time to watch our wee films. It's really, really genuinely appreciated by us both. Remember, we like, or we subscribe,
Aye, please do
we
that, yeah.
comment if you think we could. There's other places we could go to. Do you think would be interesting to film?
Aye, places that's got no ghosts, preferably.
Or if you think we could make our films a wee bit different and a wee bit better, a wee bit more entertaining, again leave us a wee positive comment, and we'll see what we can do with that one.
Aye.
So in the meantime, join us again
Aye,
fairly
please do.
soon, and we'll see you some other time further down the road.
Aye, as you say in Scotland, we're seeing the highways and the byways.
That's it. So bye for now.
Cheers, bye-bye.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye. Right, our Jim's away to take photos of the scary places. I'm going to jump out, give him a wee fright. Watch this.
Yeah. Feel my hair. Well, you never do that again, Ian.